Design Technology Key Stage 3 Key Learning Areas of Timbers. In this tutorial you will learn the difference between hardwoods, softwoods and manufactured boards, the properties of timbers and the finishes used on timbers. Let's start with the differences between hardwoods and softwoods. Hardwoods come from deciduous trees. Those are trees that shed their leaves in the winter. They grow very slowly, 80 plus years, and they have wide, broad leaves. They are more difficult to sustain than softwoods, which makes them more expensive. Here are some examples of hardwoods. Oak. Oak is a strong and heavy type of timber. It is also very durable. It's light in colour, it's got a very close grain, but does look aesthetically pleasing. It's affordable in price and gives a warm and rustic feel. It's mainly used on indoor furniture, but can be used outside if tannalised. Mahogany. Mahogany has a deep red or brownish colour. It's strong and heavy and very durable, but can be difficult to cut because of the grain. It is extremely expensive, but does look aesthetically pleasing and gives a warm and rich feel. This is mainly used for indoor furniture. Teak. Teak is strong and durable. It's light in colour in comparison to mahogany and has a very close grain. It's more weather resistant, so is great for outdoor furniture, fences. It can be expensive, but has an aesthetic appeal. Softwoods come from evergreen trees or coniferous trees. They grow thin needle-like leaves. This is very similar to Christmas trees. They grow relatively quickly. They only take 30 years in comparison to a hardwood tree, which takes 80. They are easier to sustain than hardwoods, and that's because they grow much quicker. This makes them less expensive and therefore used more in the home because of affordability. Here are some examples of softwoods. Scots pine. Scots pine has a pattern grain with knots. It's used for furniture and in construction. It's relatively cheap because it's a softwood and grows quickly. It's lightweight and light in colour and is easily sustainable. Spruce. Spruce has a straight regular grain with no knots. This makes it easier to work with. It's light in colour and lightweight. It's also aesthetically pleasing. European redwood. It's similar to pine but has a more reddish colour. It's easily sustainable, relatively cheap and is used for outdoor furniture. Here's a little task for you to have a go of. Look at the pictures 1 to 7 and identify if they are hardwoods or softwoods. Pause the clip now to have a go. Let's go through the answers. Number 1. This is hardwood. This is because it has broad leaves and it's a larger tree. Number 2 is softwood. You can tell it's a softwood because of the small pine needles. Number 3 is a softwood. This is because of its open grain and light colour. Number 4 is a hardwood because of the big massive leaves used. Number 5 is a hardwood. We know this because hardwoods lose their leaves in the winter. Number 6 is a softwood. They keep their leaves and pine needles in the winter, that's why we use them as Christmas trees. Number 7 is a hardwood. This is because of the close grain. Let's now look at manufactured boards. Manufactured boards are made from waste sections of felled trees. They come in sheet form. They are extremely stable and have a uniform thickness. They are less expensive than normal types of timber, and they can be covered with veneers. Veneers are a shiny finish. They are available in a variety of thicknesses and are generally used in the home because of affordability. Examples of manufactured boards are shown below. The first example is MDF. This is medium density fibreboard. MDF is made from dust particles glued together. This is the waste that's left over from other types of timber. It's available in large sheets and has a uniform structure. This means it has no grain. It's relatively cheap, but does have its disadvantages. Dust can be harmful. It's dull in colour, so may need to be painted on the top, and it can be easily damaged by water, so it can warp because of its absorbency. The second type of manufactured board is chipboard. Chipboard is made from chips of wood glued together. You can see this from the picture. These are available in large sheets and again have a uniform structure. They are relatively cheap as they do not grow and they're not really aesthetically pleasing. They are generally used as a structure in construction and are covered with a veneer top. The last type of manufactured board we will look at is plywood. Plywood is made from layers glued together, layers at 90 degrees. You can see from the side here how plywood is constructed. It's available in large sheets, it's very strong and has an odd number of layers. It can be quite expensive, but can be used to make curves. Look at the pictures shown. Can you pick a suitable material for each type of product? Possible materials are shown at the bottom in the yellow box. Pause the clip now to have a go. Let's go through the answers. The expensive table and chairs. This is more likely to be made out of oak. It's hard wearing, has an open grain and you can see here that it gives a nice colour. The low cost chair. This could be made from Scots pine. Because it is a softwood, it is much cheaper. The skateboard. The skateboard is made from plywood. Plywood is made from many layers which makes it easier to curve. This makes an easy curved skateboard as shown. Flat pack furniture. Flat pack furniture is generally made from chipboard with a veneer covering. This makes it more affordable. Lastly, wooden toy plane. This is made from balsa. Balsa is quite cheap even though it's a hardwood because it's generally used for modelling. You can see here that it's lightweight and can be made in small sections. Lastly, we're going to talk about finishes for timbers. Timbers can be treated with several surface finishes and they all have different purposes. Finishes are added to improve visual appearance and enhance durability. We can get different types of finishes such as paint, wax, stain or oil, and all of them improve durability and aesthetics. If you want to revise this section, what you can do is make mind maps so that you can use them in the future.